So well done there by Man City. But again, this midfield game is now starting to turn to K-Corp's way. They're keeping a lot of possession, turning into some physical plays, and the boost starving could start happening.
Macro should be able to clear this one as far as he can, but it wasn't ideal. It falls to Atto. HB and Tempo in his way, and Atto weaves it between the two of them. A little bit of brilliance there.
You can't make a mistake against K-Corp. Acro just missed positions on that wall for the clear, and Atto, it's like, I have 75 boost, and I got space, and I know how to make top 5 plays, as we saw earlier today. And Atto doing another one there. K-Corp, early 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Atto will never struggle to do that. Once he has control of the ball, he is incredibly adept at picking his spot and scoring his goals. For Tira might get a flick reset here of his very own. Edgeby, this one to the corner. Juicy there tries to tee up Atto, who was probably wisely waiting back. Man City now having to chase, something we never saw from the last game. Are they capable of doing it? Are they able to step up and attack over the next couple of minutes? It's all well and good defending, Gibbs, but now they need to force some goals, and soon.
And that's going to be the hard part, because you got to be passive a little bit against K-Corp at some point because of that physical play, but at the same time, you're down 2. That third man is going to have to creep up a little bit sooner. Otherwise, K-Corp will make them pay and just keep this ball on the orange side. But here's a big clear, but Acro has no boost. Just got to wait this out. Vatira will just do a nice little 50-50. Another 50-50 by Atto, and K-Corp again, clearing it out of that midfield.
Yeah, one thing you'll always know about Karmine Corp is they will have game management. They're not going to rush and panic at times like this. Able to see games out as well as probably any team in the world. They won't be feeling too much pressure here. 2 goals to the good. Maybe if Man City can get 1, and soon that will change. Tempo has it in the corner. Let's push it forwards, but Vatira shepherds the ball towards Atto, and again, they get the ball all the way back onto orange territory. Force Man City to start again, and it seems, Gibbs, that Karmine Corp are looking pretty impenetrable at the moment.
Yeah, Man City, sure, they've had some offensive possession. A lot of that's just in the corner, though, and they're not really getting quality scoring chances out of this. They have 4 shots on net. I felt maybe 1 good scoring chance throughout this match, so not looking good during this game. K-Corp now getting physical with Juicy, moving upfield, but the ball's been in the orange half most of the time, and if it's not, it's in a blue corner, which is not a recipe that Man City wants to continue doing.
Yeah, for a second it looked like HB was going to be able to get a bump or a demo at a key moment from Tempo's touch, but not to be, and it seems like Karmine Corp are going to restore their lead in this series. A clean, professional game win from Karmine Corp. And I'd say the real spearhead was Atto. That second goal, that was the one they needed, but actually Juicy's as well from the ceiling was pretty good as well. So it was a couple of solo mechanical plays that separated the 2 teams here, but once Karmine Corp had the lead, they are devastating.
And that's the annoying thing with K-Corp, right? You're like, oh, they're such a good team, right? But they also have the mechanics that when they do get open and they just have to beat you in a 1v1, they're going to beat you 9 times out of 10. So K-Corp just firing. They're looking great so far. Man City, though, again, it's only 2-1. That game really didn't go their way. But nothing really happened. They got 0 demos in that game, and that is what they need to change, because the physical play, when they have their few offensive opportunities, worked so well back in game 2. They need to find a way to make that happen again. But the only way that happens, Cole, is if they're on the offense, and they really weren't all game long.
Yeah, not enough shots, not enough possession there for Man City, and certainly not enough territory. Well, they can change that in a heartbeat. I'm curious to see how they'll be, you know, if they lose the next game. It's almost certain that Man City will take a tactical timeout. And I do want to see that plan B from Man City. You know, I want to see if they can at least try, just to see how it looks, go toe-to-toe over Karmine Corp and really try and force the issue, because you're not going to defend for minutes at a time against them.
Yeah, it's tough because they are making mistakes on defense as well. And when they do make the mistakes, that's when they get capitalized on. Or they have to make those desperation plays on defense. And that allows the wide open space, like for a Juicy, to score that first goal. So they need to find ways to fix the small mistakes so they don't have to play so much defense. So then they can play a little bit more offense and have a little bit of a buffer there. But so far, it didn't work there in the last game. Let's see what happens here.
Well, HB is going to send that one to his right, and HB is going to get some boost as well. Crow calls off Tempo there. Tempo, to me, seems to be the player for Man City that is most likely able to break through all these Karmine Corp players. As I say that, he completely whiffs at the ball and allows his opponents in, who then make an own save. So a bit of a scrappy 10 seconds or so in this game.
Yeah, that I thought was a guaranteed goal for K-Corp. Like, Vatira was hunted for the bump of the goalie, but the goalie did a great job to dodge it and then get a challenge in. So well done there by Man City. There was a mistake, but They fixed it just in time so they don't have an early deficit here.
Atto's coming in. This could be one. Nearly shoots it onto the backboard. Tempo's in trouble. Tempo can't get the save. Once again, it's Atto.
And here we see Acro again going for the clearance off these corners and a little bit of a mistouch. And again, you just can't mistouch against Atto. He'll go up and penalize you every single time. K-Corp starting to take over.
Yeah, even the simple stuff from Atto is better than it looks. It was a flip reset, double tap. Even there, he could have gone for the instant shot, could have gone for the simple double tap. But he went for the flare and it worked. Acro, though, is in here from the infield pass and follows it up himself. I thought the chance had gone.
Like HB, great pass here to open it up. Atto goes for the early challenge, but Juicy just a little bit late. Like, I'm surprised he actually went for the challenge at that point and maybe just played goal line defense. But he does it, hits off the post, a fortunate bounce to go back up midfield. Man City, they get the goal right back, and that's exactly what they need right now to keep the morale high.
Yeah, it was seeming like this one was going to be getting pretty insurmountable against Carmine Corp. They were building up ahead of steam, but that goal might just change that. So tries to dance the ball forwards over the top of Tempo, but Tempo gets one and then two key touches. So doing so, that's brilliant there from Tempo. Can he get past Vatira as well? Yes, he can, and he takes some boost. How's the infield pass? Instead, he leaves it for Acro. And I think Acro could have weaved that one on target if he was a bit more patient.
Such a good play by Tempo to beat two members out and then go for the bump on the third as well to open up that door for Acro. But I think he thought he had to rush that as quickly as he possibly could. So no goal there, but those are the plays you love to see out of Man City. When you can outplay K-Corp, it looks so good. And that's what they have to find for the next 3 games.
Easier said than done, Gabes. Easier said than done.
Of course, yeah.
Well, they will certainly try, and they are trying diligently. Juicy, though, gets the catch. He's got the reset, I think, but instead, lets the ball drop onto the floor. HB here pushes that one out wide to Tempo. Good touch from Tempo again. Can't quite get his second all-important one. Acro, they're on the ascendancy against Vatira, and Man City is certainly pressing further forwards now against Carmine Corp. And Carmine Corp look a little bit shaken by that.
Yeah, they're getting it deep. No scoring chance, but they have all the boost in the midfield, and they're not really challenged on the counterattack, so they can keep possession. But now the ball kind of slips away from them, goes into the Orange side, and now all three of them have no boost at all. And Atto's up in the air again, going for the air dribble dunk. Cannot get it, but K-Corp slowly taken back over here with a limited boost on Man City, but Acro makes the play. Tempo, the only one with 100, makes at least a challenge happen to allow his teammates to also collect boost and get the clear.
Vatira has a clean touch here, though. And he just asks Acro to waste a little bit more boost, and that's what Carmine Corp are currently doing, trying to make sure that Man City are using as much as possible. If they can get one boost grab for this period of play and these series of rotations, and suddenly Man City will be stretched. But so far, Man City are dealing with that threat very well. Not quite able to break out and get a center boost just yet. That's the next challenge. At the moment, HB and Tempo thought about it, but instead they wait in the middle, they use what they have left, and that allows in Vatira. Big save for now, but Atto isn't gonna miss. And finally, the boost advantage that KC were building pays dividends.
When you have low boost, it is so difficult to challenge the first man on a play. Instead, they all had to sit back, and Vatira just beat all three. That's all he did there. He just like, yeah, like I got space. I'm going to air dribble over all three of you. Turns into a juicy rebound there for Atto to finish it off. And brilliant goal by Vatira to set all that up. But it's because of the boost starving, of that slow gameplay by K-Corp to slowly drain that boost to make opportunities like that happen.
Yeah, masterful rotation there from Carmine Corp. If you ever want to study how to play 3v3 as a team and who to follow, Carmine Corp for that minute or so is exactly how. The decisions they were making, when to stay forwards, when to boost steal, and then finally, in the eyes of Vatira, when to strike. Vatira now tries to get the dunk on Acro, who brilliantly leaves it. Wow, he was the calmest man in the entire stadium. Even the eggs were looking more nervous than Acro was there. The Juicy's in the air. Let's get the edgeable bump. And Carmine Corp now, they're defending from the front foot, Gibbs. They're not giving Man City even a second to believe they can get back into this one.
So like almost every time I'm looking at Man City, like two of them are in very, very limited boost. Oh! The give and go! Tempo in the air, gets the extra touch, and Man City out of nowhere. Tempo, the pass, he's still up. HP to Tempo, and a goal. Man City ties it up in game 4.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous equalizer. And it seems the only way Man City were going to do it was with something special. Carmine Corp looked to have everything going their own way, but Man City had one chance and they took it with a little spice of brilliance.
That's
If
the
Man City
playbook.
can get this next goal, this series is blown wide open. And of course, Vatira ruins that. Brilliant.
Tempo tries to get a clear, poor touch out to Edgeby, so he can't do anything because Edgeby went a midfield for the pass. He's got to retreat, and Vatira just steals it off them. The double tap, the dagger to their hearts after a great goal. And Man City now has to find another one.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it once. Can Man City do it again? Just when it seemed like momentum was going back to Man City's way. Vatira, who else brings it all the way back to Carmine Corp? Interesting touch there from Edgeby to get up to Tempo, who can't do too much other than force a 50-50. Vatira's trying to come forwards again. 20 seconds left. Carmine Corp much less comfortable in this game than they were in the last one. Then they have the 2-goal lead. With one that's always seemed a bit more stretched. Atto, couple of touches. Man City need to get hold of this ball and they need to do it now. Tempo has a teammate to his right, already moving forwards. It's Akro's got the 100. Akro does get the ball in the end. He goes for the instant shot. Atto doesn't get the touch. Edgeby, he gets onto the backboard as well. Tempo has to get past Atto and Juicy isn't able to. But the ball remains in the air until Juicy slams it down and Carmine Corp take a 3-1 lead in the series.
Oh, and a very typical game, I think, for a K-Cup. It's like outside of the Man City just crazy goal. That's the game you expect out of K-Corp. They outshot them 12-5. They had a lot of possession. It was a one-goal game, which is not like ideal for them, but that's because Man City pulled off a fantastic goal, a top 5 worthy goal. But I think this is exactly what K-Corp wants. And this is how Man City plays. This is just how they're going to have to win. They're going to have to play a lot of defense. And again, find those small opportunities. They found some here. That they did get 2 goals, but at the end of the day, it's very difficult because I feel like Man City, they are a good team. They can be a major team. The way they play right now, I don't think they are a championship winning team. And I'm not sure if they should change it because it works so well against the tier below. It's very difficult because, like, do you guarantee or at least have a better chance at a major with this playstyle? Or do you want to be the very best team in Europe? Then you would have to change it. It's very, very difficult to do that.
Whatever team does.
Well, those are the sorts of discussions they may be having right now because Man City have taken their own tactical timeout, so they'll have an extra minute to discuss. To answer your question directly, Gibbs, I think if I was in that camp right now and they, for whatever reason, said, Cole, what do you think? Which I can't imagine, but let's just say, I'd say get yourself to a major. Do what you have to do to make it into that top 5 EU, even if it's ugly, even if you know that you're capable of more attacking. Once you've been to one, once you've experienced one, that's when you can start to think, okay, we've done that. How do we then take that next step forward? So if they do have to semi-defend their way to a major, I would not begrudge that at all. And it'd be nice to see new players and new teams at a major. And I guess it's always good to know as well they've got the extra in their locker because, you know, maybe a time like now is a chance to experiment a little bit. You know, they've got to get 3 games in a row against Carmine Corp, a team that has been reverse swept before, but it's unlikely, right? That's when you can have a bit of a play and see what you can get out of this series to take forward as the blueprint.
It's so difficult too, because we say, oh, it's so easy, just don't play defense. It's like,
of course,
that's not possible, right? Like playing K-Corp, you're probably going to be playing a lot more defense. It's just the small changes. I think every single tournament will be a learning experience for them. Like I think the kickoff LAN was fantastic for them. I get it that they got reverse swept, but you got your worst loss like out of the way, right? Now every other LAN match from now on will be better, like if they make it to more LANs. And that is the ultimate goal for Man City. They are tied for the last major spot right now. They desperately need more points, but unfortunately, they got a little bit of an unlucky draw here playing K-Corp.
Yeah, that's tough. That's very tough to play K-Corp in the losers for top 6. But it is what it is. You know, you can only beat the teams in front of you, and Man City have now got to do that thrice against Carmine Corp. Carmine Corp, who are beginning to look like their kickoff LAN selves. Not quite at their absolute very best this series. And that is credit to Man City, but they're warming up for sure. Vatira almost gets the ball from Atto. Actually does get the ball from Atto. And Juicy's shot was wayward.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think he was looking for bottom right. Maybe just couldn't reach it in time. But it looked like he had a good opportunity there and just threw it away.
Vatira gets the catch, then he gets the flip reset, and then fakes using it to shoot. Instead, lets a pinch go towards Atto, who absolutely nails it. Gets that all the way around the Man City goal. And it's looking like the end of the last game, Gibbs. There is so much Carmine Corp pressure right now, early doors.
And that is the problem, right? Because we saw Juicy make a mistake, didn't get that shot on target. When you're on offense, that means the game is still 0-0. when you're on defense, if Man City makes a
Oh,
mistake,
good
then it's a
fucking
goal. But
play,
here, the
Tempo.
counterattack happens.
That was
Tempo
nice.
with the dribble to the midfield
Round
for
one.
the pass, beaten out Juicy, and this is what Man City needs. The counterattack specialties. When you're on defense for a while, surprise them, beat one member, and you have a chance at a goal, and Man City's on top.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is the blueprint for Manchester City at the moment. Sit back, defend with your life, hope that Tempo has 100 boost and uses it well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then ensure you're at the other end to help him out with the finish. That's perfect Man City gameplay right there. HB almost pitches that one into his own net. That would be much more imperfect. You see another clean pinch. HB can give Acro a race here. Atto can't do too much with it. Tempo up against Vatira. Vatira pushes it to the side. And Carmine Corp are now struggling to break through Man City. And suddenly when Man City have the lead, the pressure that Carmine Corp have, instead of looking incisive and aggressive, it looks a bit useless, you know? It looks a little bit like wasted territory.
So I'm going to throw something out here. I know it's way too early, but if we look at the map, it is the Eiffel Tower behind them. K-Corp didn't do too well when World Championship was in France. You know, Neo Tokyo for NRG. Maybe this map for K-Corp, but we'll see. It's still early. It's still early.
Well, they're cursed on this map, are they? Carmine Corp.
Yes,
That'd be some irony.
I'm just saying, it's possible.
Oh,
NA have got Neo Tokyo. Maybe French teams
Yeah,
have got
we'll have
Paris.
this map now. So NA might have a chance again. They might.
Well, we'll see how that one goes moving forward. As Vatira tries to take out HB. Man City more than happy to be 50-50 at that location. They've got players back, they've got boost to spare. I think that's the difference as well here. If you look at Man City's boost meters, they've always got 100. So Carmine Corp are having this territory, but you know, Man City are really comfortable because they can fly up and get a 50-50 in a block, and there's someone else there to follow.
And that's the ultimate, I think, play by both teams, right? It's going to come down to that boost game. Like, Man City does not mind playing defense if they have boost. It's just the K-Corp, they want to play offense, but it doesn't matter if they don't take all the boost away. So I think those corner boosts are so crucial, and so far throughout this game, Man City doing a much better job at controlling those.
Atto weaves the ball from right to left, but wasn't able to go any further at all because HB just drove forwards and got the block. HB still has 100 boost. So does Tempo. All of Man City in complete control of the boost pills next to their own goal. Tempo can come forwards. There's a better challenge there from Atto. And I'm just waiting for something from Carmine Corp. It seems like they're all looking to each other, waiting for another player to be the one who really makes something happen. Juicy's trying to bundle it forwards. Vatira's tempted in eventually, but it's just a little bit passive from Carmine Corp almost.
Yeah, it feels like every challenge is both teams are there, and here's just a free double tap.
is that hard?
Or a free, like, off-the-wall play by Acro here. So HB just goes up the wall, throws it deep, and everyone's too far forward. Vatira takes a terrible angle at that as well.
Interesting.
And that mistake, that
I
cost
swear if he
Man
just
City.
jumps, he should get that.
Yeah, Carmine Corp, who have made less saves and had more shots, have 2 fewer goals, but that might be about to be turned into 1 fewer goal straight from the kickoff. And Carmine Corp won't be shook off just yet. On the fake.
So interesting to see Man City trying to get cute on kickoff when you have a 2-goal lead. They go for the fake, and it costs them dearly, and now it's a 1-goal game.
Carmine Corp now, can they continue this threat? It's a safer kickoff there from Man City. Don't blame them, much better as well. HB almost over the top. Atto pushes it to the side. Acro, can he get this angle? Gets 1 touch, nearly the second, but that will allow the ball to fall for Vatira. Goes to the ceiling. Tempo's at least trying to block him as much as he can to make it as simple as possible for HB. But suddenly Man City are looking boost-starved. They're looking less comfortable with 60 seconds left.
And Acro takes it off the back wall. He's had a couple missed touches off that, but he makes a good work there. Out of it. We'll see if Edgeby can win. He cannot. Juicy trying to throw it mid, but Tempo huge clear out to Edgeby, who will get the counterattack goal. He was left offsides on the field, but that doesn't matter in Rocket League, and Edgeby will make it a 2-goal lead again.
Yeah, nice to see the dabbing Reaper as well coming out the goal. That makes me feel young again to see that goal explosion. There it goes. I've not seen that one for a while.
That thing's like 9 years old. Like, it can almost play in the RLCS.
Yeah, the dabbing Reaper in RLCS 2030. Calling it now. It's next up. Looking forward to seeing it in a 1v1 apparently Jack video. Here comes Acro up against Juicy and Atto, nearly over the top of the two of them. And again, this has been Man City's game plan to an absolute T. They have played this game to true perfection.
10 shots to 9, and almost a 10th shot there by Man City, but they're keeping up in the shot department. They're obviously playing more defense, but they get the ball out quickly and throw something on net, which is a good sign for Man City. And again, as you said, as Atto gets beat, but Edgery just doesn't have anything. But that's because they're playing defense, and two members always have 100 boost. And that was completely different last game.
So Carmine Corp have all the possession. You know, they have the territory, they have the ball. They're tippy-tapping it around beautifully, and nothing's really coming from it. It's ironic that they're playing against Man City when we can levy that at them. And that is one for the UK football fans right there, Gibbs.
Nice, nice. It goes over my head, so don't worry.
I thought it might.
That's all right. Hey, that's okay. I'm a foreigner here, all right, on the show. Thanks for pointing it out, Cole. But CJ is too, all right? But there's at least two of us that are foreign. But he probably knows more about football than I do, so, yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure if you and CJ had a football off, no one would know who was who. But yeah, no, it's nice to see a different playstyle there from Man City work, because we do talk so much about how, you know, the most aggressive team wins. I'll be faster, be quicker, be more aggressive. I quite like the fact that we can see a playstyle that's slower and more thoughtful work at the top level of Rocket League.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the teams that are trying to bring that back. I feel like we used to have that a long time ago, and it always felt boring. I feel like Man City at least brings a little bit of a flavor to it compared to like teams in the past, like teams like TSM and stuff that we joke about, like, oh, if someone had to cast a TSM game, I think it was Corelli most of the time. I'm going to throw him under the bus. He was always like, oh, no, I'm going to cast TSM. And I'm going to fall asleep during this match. But Man City brings a little bit of flavor to it, which is nice to see. And they brought K-Corp to Neo Tokyo at this point, so it's getting interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mainly because of tempo that Man City remains such a watchable team. You know, he is someone who is incredibly keen to be aggressive. It's like he's always waiting to strike. And then when he and Acro make that duo play all the way up the pitch, it works very well. I feel like HB is the player that has to sit back and has to watch the other two sort of go to war for him. But I definitely feel like about Man City that if you take out any of these players and put them in another team, they wouldn't be anywhere near as good. They work best together, and I think that's why I enjoy watching them so much.
Yeah, Tempo's been
disagree.
Great. I think when he has time on the defensive side,
Bro,
he's going
good
for
on
those
100p.
small plays to beat out one member of K-Corp to relieve that pressure, right?
Team.
And if you beat out one of those members, then it allows your two teammates probably to collect two 100 boosts, and it just gives you just a little bit more time to play defense, to figure out what you want to do on the counterattack, and then allow you to challenge on those plays, which I think has been a problem, because when K-Corp, early on in this match, there were so many opportunities where we see Man City all on 0 boost, so no one can make that first challenge, so they all just have to sit back and wait, and you can't do that against K-Corp. They're going to aerial dribble, flip reset, turn it into a pass, or make you make a desperation play on defense, which allows for a juicy rebound to come out for a member to score on K-Corp. So Man City has to control their corner boost yet again. I would love a little bit more pressure, but it's perfectly fine. Like, if they play this way, it's all about the boost. You have to have it, and you have to conserve it on defense as well, because if you do get a corner stolen and you have 50, you should be only using 10 per save, right? Just to hold on to it, to be able to have a chance to counterattack after.
You may have noticed a slight delay here as we head over to Neo Tokyo. Man City have taken their tactical timeout, which was in the previous game, and they won after that one as well. So this is a bit of a, I guess, a bit of a bonus timeout for them as well. But I don't think they'll like that after the last one they've just had. I think this would serve, or will serve, Carmine Corp much better than Man City.
Sure, it's basically like a timeout, like at this point. And if they lose again, then they can call it or whatever. But but I'm just throwing it out there again, like into the universe. K-Corp is now 0-1 on that map. All right, like on the French map, I'm just throwing it out there early. I'm just throwing it out. But Man City, like, sure, they might not want this tactical timeout, but at the same time,
fuck is all
like,
W Ana
right?
B
And
Aisha
that's
8.
not a bad thing when you have a long break. If you're feeling good, then well, this time is going to fly by anyway for them, because they're going to be talking and hyping each other up like, we can do this, we can win 3 in a row versus K-Corp to take this match. And again, the point situation is insane because Man City, they're tied for the last spot. And if they win this, they get 2 points that they desperately want. So everything online for them, while Key Corp's just sitting pretty, going to Boston, playing for more points because, you know, it's always good to have as many points as possible going for the World Championship seeding. But I think everyone knows that Key Corp's very likely going to be at those events.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, K-Corp is a team that, even though they've already made the major, that will not affect their approach into any of these opens at all. As we were saying earlier, you know, they are completely and utterly ruthless in their approach of wanting to not just win, but dominate every single event that they play in. Yeah, if, say, Karmine Corp to lose this, there's no way for Tira to tweet, oh, well, we've made the major. He would be livid. You know, in particular, he's always the ideal standard for me of a competitive Rocket League professional. But Man City, you know, they've had their pain this season. They had that reverse sweep, you know, and what was looking like it was going to be their big tournament. You know, we saw what Redacted did at the kickoff, and Man City must have been there thinking, oh man, that really could have been us if we'd only got over the line against Novo Esports.
But it's tough too, because I think Man City, the expectations are actually relatively high for this team. I feel like everyone, like if you mention a dark horse team, they say Man City, right? Like to make it into that tier 1 of European teams. That there's like 5 or 6 of them where it's like all these players are just joining new teams, but you expect them to still be at the top, right? But Man City is one of those teams that they don't have any of those players. And if any team is going to break out and join that tier 1, I think most people would have said this squad. So the expectations are relatively high for them, and they are trying to meet those, but they have faltered, which you expect to happen. It's just, do you learn from these mistakes and do you improve every single event? And so far, like, they've improved in this match alone versus K-Corp, which is a very positive sign.
Yeah, that's true. You know, they've not sort of bowed down when things are starting to go against them, and I respect that about them. That's lovely stuff there from Man City. I like the way they play the game. I like the way they approach Rocket League. And I think they've got a chance, you know, in the last 2 games of this series. The fact that they go 3-1 down, and it's looking very tough, and Karmine Corp looked incredibly comfortable in that, was it 4th game? But after that, the step up that they've shown is mightily impressive, and that's the sort of thing that takes a lot longer to learn for up-and-coming pro players. You know, mechanically, there are key moments and there are slight differences, but in a big way, you know, they're all capable of incredible things. But it is the mindset, it is the mentality, it is the ability to play at your best when the pressure goes higher. And Man City are starting, you know, they obviously had as much of a blip to that as is possible to have the best of 7 reverse sweep that they had at the kickoff land, but they're starting now to show that they are able to step up in those situations, and if they learn that, if they get that final ingredient, then there's something there for them.
There is, but it's always like, we say all this, but it's like the team you're playing on the other side of the field is K-Corp. They are the final boss of Europe. They have owned Europe for so incredibly long, and they expect to own Europe yet again. Like, I think pretty much everyone would have said going into the season, yes, they are a downgrade of a team compared to last year, but they're still the best in Europe. And they have shown that time and time again. They showed it when they were down 3-1 in the finals versus Ninjas. When their backs are against the wall, don't count out a player like Vatira. He finds a way. The only time he doesn't is obviously the World Championship, and that is the last thing he needs. We will keep inventing tournaments. He will keep winning them, but none of that matters until he gets that World Championship ring. So we'll see. Maybe this is the year. Maybe this is finally that time. But K-Corp, they know it's a long journey, but they also know they want to win everything. They've always been that way. They're the team that has pretty much always qualified for every major after 2 opens. And then they play the 3rd open, and they usually win it anyway because they just want to win everything they possibly can right now.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to the absolute, the myriad YouTube documentaries we have after Vatira does get his World Championship. He's going to get it at some point, you know. I'm looking forward to about 1 billion episodes of the story of Vatira. You know, how many times he failed, how many times, when I say failed, you know, didn't win the World Championship. It's hard to call that a failure if you finish at the semi-finals of a World Championship in anything, you know.
Yeah, like, it's tough, though, because, you know, we talk about these greatest of all time lists. Everyone's making top 25, and it's like, it's hard to slot Vatira, right? Because it's like, yeah, he's won everything except for the World Championship, where he always falters. He hasn't made a grand finals yet. So it's like, it's very tough. Like, I think everyone knows that Vatira wants to win it all. That is the main goal of all these teams. it does not matter, especially last year in France as well. But we have the Paris Major coming up as well. Like K-Corp, that's going to feel like a world championship for them as well. Every single tournament, though, they are expected to be either favorites or co-favorites going into it. So it's like it's going to be fun to watch, but at the same time, we might get one of these dark horses like Man City. The door has been opened because of K-Corp for Europe to get a 5th team there. And we've seen teams, when they barely make it to a world championship, and that's out of Europe, normally, they find ways to make runs. Man City could be one of those teams, but it's a growing process for the rest of the year.
Yeah, Man City redacted grand final. You heard it here first. The battle of these teams and these players that have looked like they're almost there, and they finally get their perfect trio, and they play a particular brand of Rocket League. That would be an interesting matchup as well, Man City versus redacted, because it would be all attack versus all defense, all mechanics versus goal line heroics. I'll be looking forward to seeing that one. But there is still a match ongoing here. It's Carmine Corp currently 3-2 up against Manchester City. And looking good at times, Carmine Corp, looking like their old selves. But overall, I'd say this has been sort of a C+ performance from Carmine Corp. And when I say that, it's credit to Man City, the way they're playing.
Yes, and when you say C+, that still means they're up 3-2, right? Because that's how good K-Corp is, right?
That's
their
what
would
by
be a
their
4-0.
crazy standards is what I mean.
Yeah. But if they find space again, like if they make a Man City make those desperation saves, then they open up the door for their air dribble plays to turn those into passes. And here we go. Neo Tokyo Game 6, finally here.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone noticed, but we were actually filling for time a little bit there, me and Gibbs. So one in chat if you spotted it. And if you
I just like to talk, so obviously I asked for this.
Gibbs didn't even realize. Gibbs is like, it's only been
I'm like, I'll find more numbers if you want. It's fine.
Well, Man City, can they hold their nerve? They come into this one with the momentum. They are losing in the series. As Yusi gets a lovely couple of touches, but Tempo is equal to it. Over the top of Vatira, nearly. Vatira went up early for that one, and Tempo could have got over the top of him.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see what Man City can do in this midfield game. So far, holding pretty strong tempo with a great dunk. Atto's going to make it clear he does well, and Acro cannot get around it. So Atto will get the ball onto the orange half. Edgeby, though, to his teammate. Nice little fake there by Acro to throw it against the wall. And Man City beating out players in the midfield is a good sign to keep possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting Game 7 vibes on this one. Certainly, I would not be surprised at all if Man City are able to take this one here on Neo Tokyo. Tempo's touch, though, was it actually worked out very well. I'm not sure if he meant to tee that one up towards Acro in front of his own goal line. Morgan play for Carmine Corp. Tempo in a little bit of trouble. And Acro gets in there to take that boost ahead of him as well. So Man City just about hold out on their reserves. They're not looking quite as clean as they were in the last game.
Yeah, just back and forth we go, though. So I think this is what Man City would like. But Atto's got some space. Doesn't have enough boost, though, to make anything happen with it. So Man City will turn it away. Playing a little bit of defense. Vatira's all the way in the back corner. He's going to have to challenge early. Instead, he waits for Atto. So he gets a free ball and a free aerial dribble. And this is always dangerous off the ceiling.
Oh, you're getting faked this first, man. Are you serious, Edgeby?
Juicy tries to get it to Atto, but Man City holds their nerve and holds her.
HB's got nothing now, though. Maybe it seems that Carmine Corp are able to just pull away at the strings, the threads. The Man City t-shirt one by one to see it unravel. But Tempo is able to at least get something on target for them. Good touch from Vatira to set up himself. Acro's in front of him. They go for the bomb.
We're getting faked by first, man.
And Carmine Corp, are they on the home stretch?
A K-Corp kind of on the back foot, and Vatira's like, I'll just 3v1. That is perfectly fine. I love that first touch to bring the ball in midfield. There was a defender on the wall ready to challenge him, and then he beats 2 in net. Vatira, take it over.
Carmine Corp will be looking to extend that lead as soon as possible. Man City will still have gaps potentially in the Carmine Corp defense to aim for if they can get hold of the ball, but Carmine Corp will be expecting double this lead and see this one away from here as Acro takes a clean touch there. Follows it up, tempts Atto in. Atto's going pretty much nowhere with that one, but Vatira and Juicy are behind him. And then in the end, Atto does get a bump on Edgeby. Vatira lets in Juicy. I see these two on the same wavelength already as a team. I mean, we talked about Juicy individually, but even as a trio, he is so comfortable at the moment with Vatira and Atto. It's like they've been playing together for years.
Oh, absolutely. And it's great when you have a teammate like Atto who's just being aggressive and looking for bumps. He's like, I'm just going to hunt him down like upfield with 0 boost. I don't care. I'm just going to try and disrupt this defense. That's how much they respect. Like K-Corp, they can play a 2-man defense with Vatira plus Juicy just because they know. Like Atto's like, I don't care. I don't need boost. I just want to disrupt this defense. Didn't work out there. Man City was bumped a bit, but they still had 100 boost, so they can make up plays. And we're getting late into this game with just a 1-goal lead.
We can get a bomb.
Yeah, Acro, big clearance. Carmine Corp won't mind that though, not with Atto back with 100. He's actually got a chance to do something here until there's a double pre-jump there. Tempo and Acro, that's what I like it from Man City. HB isn't able to follow it up completely. Atto gets the touch there of his own goal. Acro towards the side for Tempo. It looks like the attack's going to come to nothing though from Man City. An incredibly brave pre-jumping from them.
Oh, I love their pass in there. It just turned into just one slight bump on HB going for that double tap. Was all they needed to just go away. Like if he could have avoided that somehow, they would have had a shot. But they kept the pressure up anyway. And Tempo, he slots it top left.
He had to get the shot perfect in Tempo.
I didn't know
And that's exactly what he did. It's tough from that angle. Saved his dodge, used it well. And when you got Vatira in the goal, you know it has to be precise.
And that was a goal out of nowhere. Everyone's like, all right, Atto's going to bring it up the wall. It was a little bit of an errant touch because it was a challenge.
Good shot.
And Tempo just makes the most out of that. An angle that felt impossible. And he gets it done.
Oh, he's dusted.
Acro's underneath this one.
Oh,
He's getting KC back to their own half again. HB already in the air. Acro uses all of his boost to get that one as far forward as possible. Man City smelling blood right now, but they have to keep this balance up. HB has 100. So as far as he can. Vatira gets it high. Juicy should be able to win this one cleanly. Gets it downwards. HB on the backboard. Good positioning here from Man City. Carmine Corp going to have to do a little bit more than this if they are able to break through Manchester City, and they'll be incredibly happy with how this game has gone, unless Atto scores. No, he doesn't.
Tempo solo.
Acro,
Solo Tempo.
As far as Tempo. Now
Fake.
Tempo has a chance to go underneath Juicy.
He got a bad touch.
Shot! And Acro scores it.
Man City, this is classy defense. Acro with the save. Not only was it a save, he passes it to Tempo, who's got full boost, brings it all the way down the field, which turns into a pass back to Acro. Man City 30 seconds away from going to Champions Field.
And they are making Carmine Corp look very normal right about now. But Juicy's trying to change that. He wants to go over the top of HB, does so. Tempo coming in front of his own goal, gets to the side. Acro has to keep the 20 boosts that he's got. It's only as good enough to get a challenge on Atto. Carmine Corp getting way too many clean touches in the Man City half. Man City, their hearts will be beating faster and faster. 10 seconds left now.
Tempo. 50. Good 50.
It's all or nothing now for K-Corp. Will they send the house? So Vatira's got a little bit of space going for the
Played
aerial
the ball.
He
Good shit,
back, hits the ball. So Atto with a full boost tank doesn't get the touch he wants. Acro, big clear, Juicy, keeping it alive, but no, he cannot. And Man City has forced Game 7.
Now to Carmine Corp take another tactical timeout after everyone's been waiting around for a few minutes. I imagine that they will, but there is an argument they might just want to roll straight into the next game. They might want to get this one over with here and now. I'm looking at the chat, and so far, Gibbs, I've seen nothing. If Carmine Corp don't take that tactical timeout, would you hate that?
No, I feel like they got what they needed to out of that last long break. And again, it's K-Corp, so we'll see. But K-Corp. No timeout for K-Corp. We get the official word here, and again, Man City, they get outshot. This is their game plan. Get outshot, but convert your chances, and they get it done.
That is utterly ridiculous. Not just outshot, 7 shots for Carmine Corp and 4 for Man City. HB didn't have any. He did get an assist, but didn't even attempt to roll that ball towards the Carmine Corp net. Look at these air dribbles. I mean, just volleys forward. And this shot from Acro Gibbs, that is not an easy finish.
Not at all. And also Tempo, it was like an awkward pass. He didn't really do a lot with
Wake
the
up, Tempo.
Dribble, but it was the perfect play. Like, everyone in KC was expecting something, and he's like, nah, I'm just going to leave it and let it bounce off my hood. Vatira was confused, so he went for the first challenge. It allowed that door to open for Acro. But again, this is the Man City playbook. Here we go, Champions Field.
Yeah, here we go then. This is where it ends. Carmine Corp, the winners of the kickoff LAN, might be about to go out in EU Open number 2, and Man City, after their heartbreak in Copenhagen, can they fix it with the best possible tonic, making it into the top 6 against EU's undisputed number 1 team. Well, it might be disputed after this one, depending on how this final game is going to go, as Atto takes a clean touch. He's got Tempo and HB in front of him. Vatira in the middle. Vatira was trying to make out like he wanted that ball. Atto only had eyes for the goal. Carmine Corp starting Game 7 the better, Gibbs.
Yeah, Game 7, though, is where I expect Atto to do something crazy. Like, we saw the top 5 plays out of the kickoff plan. Atto was everywhere, making a highlight reel after highlight reel. So, Acro with an awkward save somehow pops it up to a teammate in Tempo. A quick double tap with Juicy. Throw it on net. The play comes out by Atto. Finally connects on a demo. But it did not matter yet, and Acro will get the clear.
Yeah, so close. Carmine Corp going to have to keep on coming, though. Atto wants to get that ceiling pitch near there. Vatira onto the back wall. Carmine Corp looking ready to snap. Still pulling at those threads of Man City. Juicy's flick, though, is pretty poor, to be honest. And Tempo tackles him just as Atto in his way. Atto does okay to wriggle the way out of that edgeable bump. Man City, we've said it before, Gibbs, the counter was almost so effective, still might be. Tempo needs it for Acro, but it's wide.
Just wide. Man City had it. They had their moment. They couldn't capitalize, but still, 0-0, 3.5 left.
Tempo takes a touch into the center. Acro's already up for it. Man City showing even more signs of life.
50 to the corner.
Playing much closer to their best now. Tempo pushes it forwards. But Vatira's waiting, has to dodge his way forward and use a lot of boost just to get that ball in the Man City corner. Man City will not fear having the ball in their own half. Acro's able to take the ball away. Juicy thought about catching it. Instead, gets himself to the ceiling. He loves going from here and getting a flip reset. Instead, it's just the reset from the ceiling. But doesn't let Carmine Corp in. But again, more positive defending there from Man City. They attack Carmine Corp so quickly.
1v1 over.
Here comes Tempo. Wants the final touch, but Juicy doesn't let him have it. Edgeby onto the back ball. Acro's coming up. It's going to be Edgeby again. Saved by Atto.
I thought Acro would go for the harder double tap there, but he gets turned away by his teammate.
That's good.
But Tempo, he had 100 boost on defense again, made a great aerial dribble play to beat some members to get onto the offense. That's what it's about for Tempo. Have 100 and get space and make something happen. Here he goes again. Let's see what he can do.
Good.
Some ground game coming out, but Atto will win the possession back.
Okay, so as far as Tempo wins the 50-50, Edgeby might be able to beat his opponent here, and he does.
1v1.
Catches one. 1v1 with Juicy. Tries to flick it over the top of him. He tried that earlier. This time it works out. Acro
Oh my
god.
And Tempo's had space all throughout this match and finally makes something work here. Juicy on a 100 boost has to just wait, and Acro again with the pass. No one expects that Tempo off that near side wall. It was the same thing on Neo Tokyo, and Acro again with a huge finish.
Yeah, the same combination, the same angle. An easier finish that time, but just as impactful, maybe even more so. Vatira.
Edgeby. That is
too easy
so bad.
But we see Vatira here. He's got all the space in the world.
Oh my! Why do you jump?
Juicy comes in with the easy finish. Atto was hunting for some
That
bumps,
was interesting.
but there was time for one member of Man City to come out. They had the boost, but no one challenged.
He just stays back with it. You can either 50 it out or just
Acro wins this one cleanly, though. He's got
get
it
a touch
almost flip resets it over the top of Vatira, who's bashed back to his own back wall. Tempo, couple of touches. Vatira in a little bit of trouble here.
Down.
Tempo get the finish, though. Tempo doesn't connect, though. That surely would have been in, Gibbs, and only he touched it.
No way he didn't touch that.
Tempo just had to jump immediately and try and read the angles. Didn't have any boots there, but he just barely misses out. And K-Corp survives. Now on the offensive side, we'll see if Juicy can feed this ball to Atto. He does. Atto will just keep this going. Probably look for some bumps on his way out.
I'm not gonna lie.
Last the third man. He's gonna just try and beat two members again. Cannot do it. Man City. Holden. Low boost. Acro on the back wall.
We need a chow very badly.
Juicy almost gets the goal. Tempo clears it out. They survive.
How on earth do two players at the near post go for the ball, miss, and still get away with it? Man City living a charmed life. Juicy has the flip reset this time. Wants to get the bump on Tempo, instead just gets it past him. He and Edgeby getting in each other's way. Surely this is Carmine Corp's time to strike. Surely they keep on attacking, but Acro gets it away.
Over.
Man City panic on defense, but you expect that. It's Game 7. Everything is on the line, but K-Corp cannot capitalize. 1-1, less than a minute left. We're entering golden goal territory soon.
Yeah, Tempo has asked a serious question of Edgeby right there. But Edgeby had the answer. Edgeby all the way, and Acro almost prodded it over the top of Juicy.
That is not good.
Coming in too high for Juicy this time.
Tempo?
Juicy crept forward, didn't go for the pass in the midfield. So that's why the ball went over center. A huge clear, and Edgeby's got to make a touch. Half a minute left. All tied up. Edgeby, can he get this ball out? They desperately
good beat, Acro.
Here.
Tempo?
Juicy,
Sidewalk?
will turn it away. Tempo, though, trying for quick double tap. Atto is there to meet it.
Yeah, Tempo went for the skim. Didn't quite happen. Overtime is beckoning.
That should be corner to Acro.
7 OT.
No, they trolled.
Just gonna win it for Carmine Corp. 5 seconds left.
Oh, HB.
And everyone at Man City, Acro, is just moving upfield, expecting a pass by HB. HB tried to play it slow. There was also a demo off screen.
No,
It's
brother.
wide open after the stellar defense by Man City. They crept forward just a bit too much.
Oh, they trolled.
HB, the Tiro let him shoot it. Tempo has no boost either.
He's faking,
can just
no?
let this one die. Instead, he opts to kill it himself. And Carmine Corp once more find a way to win.
That was
an
so
epic
troll, but
7
I'm not gonna lie,
games
Edgy
of Rocket
trolled
League that
so
had
bad.
everything.
That was not good.
KC were inevitable. Is that the word that was used earlier, Gibbs?
The final boss had 1 health left. That's when the panic will set in, when you're trying to just win it. I think it might have been just aggro turn on field, or maybe
These
HB not
motherfuckers
hit
are
him with the
peeking.
pass.
What is this?
Man City
نوبو 3 ترك 2. في هذه المرحلة تتكلم عن إجمالي 10 تفجيرات في هذه المباراة فقط بهدفين لمنكيمون.
صح 9 يسلم بس
أو 9 عفوا، لكن
والله
تتكلم عن
أرقام جنونية
تفجير
نورمال يا ساتر.
أرقام جنونية في هذه المرحلة، فالكل بدع الكل تألق، لكن دفاع اليوم للأمانة والله شكرا، والله أصفق وأحيي صراحة على الأداء اللي قدموه من أول مباراة بهذا الشكل. أوفر تايم 4 دقائق، صراحة شكرا، لكن ما زلنا مستمرين في السلسلة أعزائي الكرام. هذا كانت فقط أول مباراة وانطلاقة هذه السلسلة. الآن من الكيك اوف بشكل سريع مونكيمون اوبن نت، لكن ضاعت من بعد الكيك اوف. الآن ترك من الزاوية في محاولة سكب للجهة اليسرى. الآن اخذ بوس الزاوية، مانكيمون يتراجع، نوبو كذلك ينتظر يتواجه يمكن البام. تفجير من سكب على مانكيمون. حاتم جنب ريست يستلم الكرة الأولى تقريبا، لكن تركي خلصها مرتدة سريعة لكن سهلة على سكب لأوفل. أوفل من السيلينج ياخذ الريست، مستحيل هذا اللاعب يمكن يبلغ 50 لكن لا، ترك متواجد في التغطية. نوبو كذلك الآن من الباك بور، ترك ياخذ وقته يخليها لمانكيمون لنوبو لعباته تزيد على المرمى. يا سلام سريعة لكن سكب دفاعي صلب، رجل المهمات الصعبة عند فريق اليوم في هذه السلسلة بلا شك في الدفاع في كل لحظة في كل هجمة. ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن، من افضل المدافعين اللي شفتها حرفيا من الاوبن الاول الاوبن الثاني، قاعد يتصدى لجميع الهجمات. يا رجل مو طبيعي.
يا ساتر والله لاعب جنوني ما شاء الله تبارك الله، دفاعيا هجوميا. لكن الى الان ترى يا نورمال ما زلنا في المباراه اللي شفناها قبل شوي كانت في المباراه الاولى وتونا ندخل على المباراه الثانيه، فما بالك اذا وصلنا ب7 مباريات في سلسله البيست اوف 7. الكره الان يخلص اللاعب سكب رغم انها كانت خطيره على مرماهم. اوفل بالقراءه، لكن نوبو فعلا اوفل كان اسرع وكانت لها الافضليه في لمسه هذه الكره والتخليص حاضر لصالح فريق اليوم. الان الكره عند اللاعب اوفل ما زال مستمر استكمال هذه الفرصه. عرضيه من اللاعب مونكيمون الى ترك، من ترك الى سكب. ممكن يكون نوبو اسرع بالتدخل في هذه الفرصه لكن بدون اي فائده. عدد دقيقه ونص والى الان النتيجه 0-0 في هذه المباراه. الكره الان عند اللاعب ترك، يا ساتر قدرنا يعدي من اللاعبين. سكب هو اللاعب الاخير، ممكن رأي يروح للبومب. يا ساتر يا نوبو، ضيع فرصه كانت ذهبيه بدون ما يتواجد اي مدافع من مدافعين اليوم. ما كانت متوقعه للامانه، كان مسبق بزياده، لكن السيناريو صار غير عن اللي كان يفكر فيه نوبو. الان نوبو بالطيران، تقفيل حاضر من لاعبين فريق اليوم. دقيقتين عدت والى الان النتيجه ما زالت تعادل. يا الله اتمنى، يعني ما اتمنى بس اتمنى بنفس الوقت ان نوصل نفس الاوفر تايم اللي قبل شوي شفناه، بس خوفك ان اللاعبين يتعبون وما نروح الجيم سابع. يا ساتر، وهذا هي فرصه لصالح فريق توستد مايند. تريبل كومبو، يا ساتر.
استفهامات كثيرة قاعد تصير في هذه المباراة بالتحديد من تويستد مايندز الآن، لكن يا ترى ايش راح يصير؟ هل راح يكون في هدف ولا لا؟ بعد الضغط المستمر اوفل في محاولة ترك الآن كذلك، لكن تبعد للجهة اليمنى. الآن مانكيمون بالاستمرارية من الجانب الايسر الآن في محاولة لمسة أولى ياخذ الريست، طالت بالنسبة له ما حد مع بوس. سكب اوفل حاتم كذلك، الجميع يعاني لكن تخليص من سكب. الضغط ما زال مستمر بدون أي أهداف، خطورة مستمرة كذلك. مانكيمون لمسة اوفل يخلصها للجهة اليمنى. الآن ترك يمر لنوبو، نوبو تسديد على المرمى. يا سلام، حاتم بالانقاذ والابعاد الان، ما زالت الى الان ضغط عالي. مونكي مون الكل يحاول، تويستد مايندز بدأت تنفذ الخيارات والقرارات عندهم مع كل هجمه مع كل تمريره. ولمس الان مونكي مون في محاوله تمريره في المنتصف تبعد من نوبو الجهه المقابله. لمس الان كذلك لتورك لكن يتفجر من سكب ذكيه اللمسه. اوف الان عند الكره لمسه اولى مع البوست الكافي، يتوجه يمكن باك بورد، لا طالت بالنسبه لنوبو، تتخلص من ترك الان، ترجع عند حاتم، لمسه من السيلينج، تسديده يمكن حاضره. مونكي مون قدر يقرب بالشكل المطلوب، سكب الان على الباك بورد، دبل تاب، لا طالت بالنسبه له. اوفل ياخذها على طول ويستكمل فيها هذه الهجمه والضغط الان. دبل كوميت، فرصه تقريبا ضم من مونكي مون. نوبو ياخذ وقته 1v1، هذا مكان نوبو، فرصه يردربل، يا سلام يا نوبو، هدف اول لتويستد مايندز. خطأ ودخلوا فيها تقريبا 2 من اللاعبين اليوم، سكب بري جمب، ولكن ما كان افضل قرار اتخذ هذا اللاعب في هذه السلسله. وبالتالي نوبو باول اهداف هذه المباراه في اخر دقيقه و30 ثانيه، وما زال فيها امل لكل الطرفين. تمريره تسديد يمكن، لكن لا، نوبو بالاعتراض والتقفيل ينقذ مرماه من هدف كان وشيك.
يا ساتر، بعد مرور 3 دقائق ونص تقريبا من بدايه المباراه، لكن الى الان ما زالت الفرص خطيره لصالح فريق تويستد مايند، وما زال فيها فرصه لفريق اليوم زي ما ذكرت يا نورمال. الان الكره عند اللاعب سكب الى حاتم، من حاتم فوق الباك بورد، لكن ترك بالقراءه. يا ساتر يا الاخطاء الدفاعيه اللي قاعده تصير، كان